Before you go, if this message touched your heart, take a moment to thank Jesus in the comments by writing Amen. And if you believe Jesus is always with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss another message of hope and faith. May the peace, love, and blessings of Jesus Christ be with you today and always. Amen. Folded hands, Latin cross. Have you ever felt like heaven has gone silent? Like you prayed, you've cried, you've waited, but nothing changed? If that's you, don't scroll away, because this message isn't a coincidence. Jesus wants you to hear these words today. Close your eyes for just 1 second. Imagine standing alone in the middle of a dark road. No one beside you. No light ahead. Only silence. Now, imagine hearing a calm voice behind you. My beloved child, why are you afraid? I never left you. You turn around, and there he is, Jesus, dressed in a shining white robe, his eyes filled with love. Not anger, not disappointment, only compassion. He slowly walks toward you and says, I watched every tear you cried when no one else noticed. I heard every prayer you whispered into your pillow, even when you thought I was silent. I was working in places you couldn't see. At that very moment, everything around you becomes brighter. The darkness begins to disappear. But then, Jesus looks directly into your eyes and says something so unexpected, something that could completely change your future. He whispers, tomorrow, someone will try to steal your peace. What happens next will determine the direction of your life forever. Part 2. Jesus gently placed his hand on your shoulder. His touch carried a peace that no words could fully describe. Then he looked into your eyes and said, My beloved child, tomorrow will test your heart, not because I have abandoned you, but because I am preparing you for something greater. You stood there confused. Lord, why would you allow me to suffer if you love me? Jesus smiled with kindness. My child, gold is purified by fire. A strong faith is built through trials. Every difficult moment you have faced has been shaping you into the person I created you to be. As he spoke, the dark road before you began to change. You saw scenes from your own life. The nights you cried yourself to sleep. The prayers you thought went unanswered. The people who walked away from you. The opportunities you lost. The moments you almost gave up. Tears filled your eyes. You whispered, Lord, you were there all along. Jesus nodded. I never missed a single tear. Every tear you cried, I kept. Every prayer you whispered, I heard. Even when you couldn't feel my presence, my hand was still protecting you. Then his expression became serious. My child, tomorrow someone may speak words that hurt you. Someone may disappoint you. Fear may knock on your heart. He paused for a moment. But listen carefully. Do not let one moment of pain make you forget a lifetime of my faithfulness. The wind suddenly became still. A warm golden light surrounded Jesus. He raised his hand toward heaven and declared, The blessing I have prepared for you is closer than you think. But first, you must choose faith over fear. At that exact moment, the sky opened with a brilliant light, and a mysterious figure began walking toward Jesus from the distance. Who was this person? And why did Jesus smile when he saw them? Part 3. The mysterious figure slowly stepped out of the light. At first, you couldn't recognize who it was. As the figure came closer, your heart began to race. It wasn't a stranger. It was you, not the broken, fearful version of you standing there, but the person God had always planned for you to become. Confident, peaceful, full of joy. Your future self smiled and said, I am who you become when you trust Jesus instead of your fear. You stood in silence. Is this really me? Jesus nodded with a gentle smile. My beloved child, this is the life I have prepared for you. The enemy wants you to believe your story ends in pain, but I have already written a different ending. As he spoke, beautiful scenes appeared before your eyes. You saw your family smiling again, doors that had been closed suddenly opening. Your heart, once filled with anxiety, now overflowing with peace. You fell to your knees and whispered, Lord, why would you do all of this for me? Jesus lifted your chin and replied, Because my love for you has never depended on your perfection. I loved you before you knew my name. I will never stop loving you. Then his voice became firm. But listen carefully. There will be people who try to fill your heart with doubt. They will tell you that your prayers are useless and your hope is foolish. Jesus stretched out his hand. When that moment comes, don't listen to fear. Listen to my voice. Suddenly, the peaceful sky turned dark. A violent storm began to gather. Thunder echoed across the heavens. The ground beneath your feet started to shake. You looked at Jesus with fear, but he remained completely calm. Then he said something that made your heart stop for a moment. The storm is not coming to destroy you. It is coming to reveal the miracle I have been preparing for you. Just then, a brilliant light burst through the clouds, and someone called your name from inside that light. Who was calling you? And what miracle was waiting? Part 4. The voice from the light called your name once again. It wasn't loud. It was gentle. It carried a power that reached deep into your soul. You took one step toward the light, then another. The storm around you grew stronger. The wind howled. The rain poured. But the closer you walked to Jesus, the weaker the storm seemed to become. Jesus smiled and said, "My beloved child, this is how faith works. The storm doesn't always disappear immediately, but my presence becomes greater than your fear." As you continued walking, the light became brighter. Suddenly, you saw a huge gate standing before you. It looked impossible to open. You whispered, "Lord, this door has been closed for so long." Jesus placed his hand on the gate. Without using any force, the gate slowly opened by itself. Behind it was a beautiful valley filled with light, peace, and hope. Jesus looked at you and said, "Every door that I open, no one can shut. Every door that I close is protecting you from what would have harmed you." Tears rolled down your face. For the first time in a long time, you truly believed that your future was still in God's hands. Then Jesus pointed toward the horizon. "There is one final lesson you must learn." In the distance, you saw a frightened little child sitting alone beneath a tree, crying. You asked, "Lord, who is that child?" Jesus answered softly, "That child is every wounded heart that has forgotten my love. And today, I want you to help them remember." You walked toward the child together. The moment Jesus gently touched the child's shoulder, the child smiled. The tears disappeared. Hope returned. Then Jesus turned to you and said, "Never underestimate the power of one kind word, one prayer, or one act of love. I can use even the smallest act of faith to change someone's life forever." As the sun began to rise, Jesus looked into your eyes one last time and said, "My child, the greatest miracle isn't that storms disappear. The greatest Part 5, Final. The golden light grew brighter with every passing moment. Jesus looked at you with eyes full of endless love. Then he spoke one final time, "My beloved child, before I leave, there is one truth I never want you to forget." You stood quietly, listening with all your heart. Jesus continued, "People may leave you. Friends may disappoint you. Plans may fail. But my love for you will never change." He gently placed his hand over your heart. At that moment, every fear, every regret, every burden you had been carrying began to disappear. A deep, unexplainable peace filled your soul. Jesus smiled and said, "Whenever you feel weak, remember this. You are never fighting your battles alone. I walk before you, beside you, and behind you. My hand is always upon you." You looked up and asked, "Lord, what should I do now?" Jesus answered, "Trust me one day at a time. Pray even when you don't feel like it. Love even when it's difficult. Forgive even when it hurts. And never stop believing that I am working, even when you cannot see it." The morning sun rose over the hills. Birds began to sing. The storm had completely passed. Jesus took one final step back into the light and said, "This is not goodbye. Every time you call my name with a sincere heart, I am with you. Walk in faith, not in fear. Your best days are still ahead because I am walking with you." Then the light gently faded, but his peace remained in your heart. And from that day forward, you realized something that changed your life forever. The greatest miracle was never that your problems disappeared. The greatest miracle was that Jesus never left your side. Before you go, If this message touched your heart, take a moment to thank Jesus in the comments by writing Amen. And if you believe Jesus is always with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss another message of hope and faith. May the peace, love, and blessings of Jesus Christ be with you today and always.